Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hazim bin Hosni and my metric number is AD170059. Okay, so today I would like to present about my final year project titled The Physical Characteristic of Handmade Soap with Plant-Based Additive. My supervisor is the Professor Madya Danika Zafia binti Muhammad Rus. Okay, this is my outline presentation, which consists of five parts. The first one is the introduction. The second one is the literature review. The next one is the methodology. Next one is the analysis, and the last one is the conclusion and recommendation. Okay, I will go through for the first one is the introduction. Okay, the first one. Okay, so for background study, soap is mainly used for cleansing, which eliminates contaminants that cannot be completely removed by water alone. And the production of soap involves four different types of method, which is cold process method, hot process method, melt and pour, and also rebatch. Cold process method is the most common use in the production of soap, which involves a process called saponification reaction. And the last one is the natural additive are also added into the clean soap to enhance soap composition, efficiency, and also the consumer sensory preference of the finished product. Okay, so for problem statement, nowadays the conventional soap or the commercial soap contains numerous harmful chemicals such as sulfates, which can lead the skin to dry out and also starve for moisture. This is because of the removal of glycerin in the soap making process. As we know, the glycerin in the soap can soften and also moisturize the skin. The study will also use the virgin cooking oil and lye as the main substances in the soap making process by using the cold process method. And also the study will use the plant-based additive in the soap making process. Okay, so there are three objectives in this study, which is the first one is to use virgin cooking oil and also different type of herbs in the soap making process. The next one is to identify the physical characteristic of the soap, which is made using the virgin cooking oil and different type of herbs. The last one is to prepare simple and attractive information using brochure for distribution among small and medium enterprise for soap making process. Okay, so for scope of study, there are five scope, which is the first one is perform cold process method to make soap. The second one to analyze the quality of the soap produced by identify the hardness, pH value, and also the resistance of dissolvent. Okay, the third one is to perform scratch resistance test to find the hardness, pH test to find the pH value, and also the swelling test to find the resistance of dissolvent in four different solutions. Okay, so for there are limitation in the study, which is due to the restriction of COVID-19. The experiment, which is friendly with students, has been chosen. And also this experiment is done with a good ventilation at home. Okay, next, I will continue about the literature review. Vegetable oil such as palm oil is used in frying food, including the fast food industry and also non-food manufacturing. And also lye is known as highly consists of alkaline chemical that is mostly used in the soap making process. The sodium hydroxide or now can produce a hard and durable soap based on Vidal Prieto. Okay, the soap is mainly used by using the saponification process, which is the triglyceride in the oils react with the presence of base or alkali, such as now and potassium hydroxide to produce soap and glycerol, such as in the figure 1, as we can see, the fat the oils and react with the alkali to produce soap and also the glycerol. Okay, next is the additive in soap is added to improve the physical and chemical characteristic due to the composition of plant extract. This extract can contribute different benefits to enhance the properties of the soap. Okay, so we will go to the methodology. Okay, so for flowchart, we will start and then we prepare the materials and equipment, also the procedure, and also we will produce the soap by using the cold process method. There are two material or main ingredient that we use in the soap, which is the virgin cooking oil We use the ceremony cooking oil, which has the palm-based oil, and also the herbs additive we use is the cinnamon and ginger powder. Okay, after we produce the soap, we will perform three tests, which is the scratch resistance test, pH test, and also the swelling test. After test, we will collect the data and we will analyze the data, and also the soap produced by using the cold process method. And also we will prepare and produce the brochure. Okay, so this is the step of to produce the soap by using the cold process method. There are 7 steps includes, which is the step 1, put 200 gram of virgin cooking oil in the container. The next one is pour to 60 gram of water in another container. The next step is we will pour 30 gram of lye or sodium hydroxide flakes in the water solution. And the step 4, stir the lye water solution with different stirring time, which is the parameter. We have two types, which is the 5 minute and also 10 minute. Okay, for the step 5, we will pour the lye water solution in the oil solution that has been prepared earlier. Okay, the next step is the one of the most significant in this production of soap, because we will add additive in the oil mixture solution and stir until no presence of oil at the surface. Okay, so for additive we use is the cinnamon and ginger, and there are different type of composition of additive, which is also the parameter, which is the 5%, 10%, and also 50%. Okay, the last step, we will pour the oil mixture solution or the soap into the intended mode. Okay, this is the one of the sample that have been produced, which is the handmade soap with plant-based additive. Okay, so there are 3 tests on the soap. Okay, the first test is the scratch resistant test by using the pencil hardness test method. So this method involved by evaluating the surface aesthetics of the soap by scratching with the pencil at an angle of 45 degree. The process is repeated with a pencil that's lower on hardness scale until the highest hardness scale to determine whether the soap will cut or not. Okay, so basically the scale is from 8B to 6H, which is the 8B is the softest and the 6H is the hardest. Okay, so this is the figure of the position of the pencil when we scratch the surface of the soap. Okay, so the next figure is the show the example of pencil that we use from the Staedtler mass lomograph. Okay, next one is the pH test. So pH test is done to determine the pH value of the soap. Okay, so the step is to adding a bit of distilled water on the surface of the handmade soap, and then the surface will make contact with water, and we will rub until the bubble appears. Okay, next, place the pH strip onto the bubbles, and the strip will react immediately by changing its color based on the soap pH value. Okay, so there are the pH value range from 0 to 14, which is the 0 to 6 is the acidic, 7 is the neutral, and 8 to 14 is the alkaline. Okay, so the last test that we have performed is the swelling test. Okay, so the procedure of swelling test is start by cutting the soap into 4 cubes, which has similar volume, and also the data is recorded by measure the volume of cube every 2 days in the time span of 4 days. Compare the data obtained with the initial volume of the cube to achieve the resistance of dissolvent in 4 different solutions. The 4 different solutions that involved is the oil, vinegar, sugar, and also salt solution. Okay, the figure below need show the electronic digital caliper that we use to calculate the height, width, and length of the cube. So we will go the analysis of this study. Okay, so this is the production of handmade soap with plant-based additive that has been produced. Okay, for the first one is the handmade soap with cinnamon additive with 5 minutes stirring time. As we can see, there are 3, which is refer to the 3 composition of additive of 5%, 10%, and 50%. Okay, the figure 8 show the cinnamon additive with 10 minutes stirring time. The next figure is show the ginger additive with 5 minutes stirring time. And the last figure show the ginger additive with 10 minutes stirring time. Okay, so this is the analysis of the scratch resistance test by using the pencil hardness test method. This figure show the scratch marks by using pencil hardness test method on one of the handmade soap that has been produced. Okay, so this table show the result of pencil hardness test method. Okay, so for the cinnamon additive, the handmade soap with the cinnamon additive and at 10 minutes stirring time and at 15% of composition of additive has the highest H number of pencil, and also while the ginger additive, the handmade soap with ginger additive at 10 minutes stirring time and at the highest composition of additive has the highest H number of pencil or the H value. Okay, this is because this can be concluded that the higher the stirring time, the harder the soap produced, and also the higher the composition of additive, the harder soap that will be produced. This is because the soap will be determined by the higher H number. Okay, next. We will continue for the comparison with other commercial soap for the scratch resistant test or the pencil hardness test method. Okay, so there are two figures. Okay, so the left figure is the scratch mark on Dove soap. The right figure is the scratch mark on the Medimix soap. Okay, there are three tests that have been done on the both of the soap to find the value of hardness of pencil. And next, we will determine the highest and the lowest value of hardness of pencil. Okay, because the handmade soap with plant-based additive have the finest physical characteristics such as the great hardness compared to the commercial without additive. This is because the handmade soap with additive have the higher value of H compared to the commercial soap. And also, this result also prove that the handmade soap with ginger additive produce the hardest soap compared to the commercial soap such as Dove bar soap and also Medimic bar soap. Okay, so for the pH test, this figure below show the example of the pH value on one of the handmade soap that we have been produced. Okay, so the pH strip will be calibrated with the color chart to find the exact pH value of the handmade soap. Okay, so this is the result of the pH value of the handmade soap. Mostly, the handmade soap produced with the plant-based additive have the pH value of 10 and 9, and as shown in this table. Okay, so for the comparison with other commercial soap, which is the Dove, Medimix, and also the Lifebuoy liquid soap, the handmade soap with plant-based additive produce the exact same pH value, which is 9, while the pH value of Dove soap is the lowest, which is pH 6, and the Medimix indicates the highest pH value, which is pH 10, while Lifebuoy has the exact same value with the handmade soap with plant-based additive. Okay, from this table, it can conclude that the handmade soap with plant-based additive produce the safe range of pH value, which is 9 for the soap to be safely used on the human skin. Okay, the last one is the swelling test. Okay, so for the swelling test, the handmade soap were cutting into 4 cubes with identical volume. And also the soap will immerse into 4 different solutions, which is vinegar, sugar, salt, and oil. By cutting the cube with the same width, length, and height of 2.5 centimeter, the volume of the cube has been achieved, which is the 15.625 centimeter cube. The result of the swelling test was observed in every 2 days in the time span of 4 days. Okay, so for the result of the swelling test, this table shows the volume of the soap at day 4, which can be observed that the volume of handmade soap with both additive was increasing in only in vinegar and sugar only, but the volume of soap was no change from initial volume. From this data, it can be analyzed that the handmade soap with cinnamon and ginger additive experienced swelling only in the vinegar and sugar but show no change of volume of soap in oil and salt solution. And this can be concluded that the soap are very resistant in the salt and oil solution and have the lowest resistance of dissolvent in the vinegar and sugar. Okay, so these two figures show the resistance of dissolvent between two additive, which is the cinnamon additive and also the ginger additive. Okay, so for the figure in the cinnamon additive show that the vinegar with the 10 minutes stirring time produce the highest percentage of increment of volume of soap compared to the vinegar with the 5 minutes stirring time. And also this also has been applied in the ginger additive figure, which we can see that vinegar with the 10 minutes stirring time produce the highest percentage of increment of volume of soap compared to the vinegar with the 5 minutes stirring time. And also it is as same as the sugar solution, but as we can see that the oil and salt solution show no change in terms of volume of soap, so that the handmade soap with plant-based additive with both additive are completely resistant when dissolved in both of the solution, but show lower resistance of dissolvent when dissolved in the vinegar and also the sugar solution. Okay, so this is the comparison with other commercial soap, which is the Dove soap and also the Medimix bar soap. In this comparison, we also conduct with the exactly same volume with the handmade soap with plant-based additive, and also it has been done in the time span of 4 days, which is we record the volume of the soap every 2 days. Okay, so after that, we will compare with the handmade soap with plant-based additive. Okay, this data indicates that the handmade soap with plant-based additive show the highest volume in vinegar and sugar compared to the commercial soap. And also the volume for handmade soap and commercial soap in oil solution and sugar solution show no change. But there was a slightly difference for the bar soap. And also the handmade soap with both additive and commercial soap experience swelling only in vinegar and also sugar, but show no change of volume of soap in oil and salt solution. Okay, from this data, it can conclude that the handmade soap with plant-based additive and also the commercial soap, which is the Dove and Medibix bar soap, are completely resistant when dissolved in the oil and salt solution, but show the lower resistance of dissolvent when dissolved in the vinegar and sugar solution. Okay, so for production of brochure is one of the objective of this study. The brochure produced consists of complete procedure and figure in soap making process by using the cold process method. And also the complete and accurate procedure along with figure is important to ensure that the small and medium enterprise community can produce their own handmade soap. Okay, so lastly is the conclusion and the recommendation. Okay, as for the conclusion, in this study, from the result that we have been achieved, it indicates that the handmade soap with plant-based additive can be produced by using the virgin cooking oil and different type of herbs and by using the cold process method. And also the handmade soap with plant-based additive that have been produced obtain the lower hardness of pencil compared to the commercial soap, which prove that the handmade soap with plant-based additive produce a harder soap compared to the commercial soap. And also the handmade soap with plant-based additive produce the safest range of pH value for soap, which is 9 to 10. while the commercial soap produce a pH value from the range of 6 to 10. Okay, the lastly in the handmade soap with plant-based additive produced show the resistance of dissolvent only only in oil and salt solution, but show some lower resistance of dissolvent when dissolved in the vinegar and sugar solution. Okay, so for recommendation, there are four recommendations that we have been come up with. So for the first one, the mixture of oil and lye solution in the production of soap by using the cold process method takes longer time to cool down. In the next research, it is recommended to mix some ice and water in the lye solution to speed up the process of cooling down. Okay, the next one, it is recommended to conduct different composition ratio of additive or parameter being used such as the stirring time and also the soaking time soaking time is referred as at the swelling test. Okay, the next one is the use of the different plant-based additives such as the rosemary and the lavender is recommended to enhance the physical characteristic of the handmade soap in the future study. Okay, in future study, the electronic mixer is recommended to mix the solution in the cold process method instead of using the manual mixer to speed up the soap making process. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.